afternoon, good morning, wherever you're plugging in from. If you're excited for this call, drop some fire emojis. If you don't have your team on this call, if you don't have your friends on this call, you want to call them right now and get them on this call immediately. Message them, send them the broadcast, send them a link, let them jump on this call right now. Steph is ready, she's fired up. We're really excited for this training. So if you don't have your teams on this call, message them to jump on immediately, guys. Drop some fire emojis if you're fired up for this training, if you're excited about the information that we're about to get from Steph tonight. Drop some fire emojis, get your team on. Let's max this call up. Send them reminders, let them join the call immediately. We're going to get started in about 2 to 3 minutes. So if you're excited for this information, it's going to be totally mind-blowing. I'm really, really, really fired up and excited because trust me, the last time I listened to Steph do this training, I was completely mind-blown. So definitely you want to have your pen and paper, take notes. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Like I said, get everyone on this call. If your friend is not on this call, message them right now, give them a phone call, let them jump on this call. Let's max this call up in 3 minutes because we're going to get started shortly. Okay, so before everyone jumps in, before we get started, let me introduce myself real quick, and then I'll just bring Steph on to do her thing. My name is Sylvia Ayo. I'm a top leader in this company. I've been trading for over 1 year now. Really, literally, it's been one of the best decisions of my life. Okay, hold on. Someone says they can't hear me. Okay, can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, drop some ones in the chat box. If you can hear me, drop some ones in the chat box. If you can hear me clearly, drop some ones in the chat box. Guys, blow up this chat box. It's about to get real crazy. It's about to get real crazy. All right, awesome. Great. Okay, let's go. Let's get this rolling. I'm super fired up. I'm excited for what we're about to, have tonight. It's literally one of the best trainings you're ever going to experience because trust me, this is different, right? When you know how to navigate Tradingview, is different. And we have a boss lady on the call. Steph is about to kill this. She's about to show you all the secrets you did not know about Tradingview. If you don't know how to take your own trades, you don't know how to analyze the market, from tonight's call, it's going to completely change the game for you. And we have a boss lady, a top trader on the call. She's ready to dive in. She's ready to show you everything you need to know when it comes to doing your own markups, becoming your own boss, becoming your own signal provider. How many of you are ready to become your own signal provider? Let me see you drop some twos in the chat box. If you're ready to become your own signal provider, let me see you drop some twos in the chat box. I'm my own signal provider, right? But I really want to learn more. But I know that, the signals are awesome. The signal services are really, really amazing. People are making crazy money from the signals. But if you want to become your own signal provider, let me see you drop some twos in the chat box. We literally have around 94 people. Guys, let's max this call up. Let's max this call up. Call all your friends, whoever is not on this call. If your team is not on this call, you're playing around. If your team is not on this call, you're not ready, right? So call your friends, make sure they jump on. The boss lady's going to go off real soon. She's going to get started with all of the nuggets. I'm ready. I have my pen and paper. I'm ready to take notes as well. So if you want to become your own signal provider, let me see you drop some. Blow the chat box, guys. If the energy is not so good, Steph is not going to go all in. She lost the energy, trust me. So if the energy is good, she's going to go all in, right, guys? So, you want to get ready. Like I said, have your pen and paper. I'm bringing Steph on right now. She's going to dive straight into the information. You guys are going to learn something crazy tonight. Trust me, when I was on her call the last time, I was mind-blown. So I know for a fact, if I'm mind-blown, you'll be mind-blown as well. So, guys, get ready for the boss lady. Let's see some drum rolls. If you have drum rolls, put some drum rolls in the chat box. Let's bring Steph on. Drum rolls, guys. I'm bringing Steph on right now. Let me see.
What's going on, everybody?
All right.
How is everybody doing? I hope y'all do me a favor. Drop some fire emojis in the chat if you are excited for this training. Let me see. Let's go. Sheesh, everybody's ready. Sylvia, it looks like they're ready, huh? What you think?
They're fired up. Trust me. I told you they were fired up all the way.
Damn, let's go. I'm fired up. Y'all get me fired up just like with that. I love it. She's right. Like if y'all bring the energy, I can definitely bring the energy back. That's for sure. So I'm excited. First off, just a little bit about me, because I know most people don't know who I am. I'm Steph. I'm from Germany. I've been in IAM for about 2.5 years now. My whole team is in the US. It's very, I'm grateful for this whole opportunity, you know, the people that came into my life. I've been working 2 jobs as long as I can remember, you know, waitressing for 17 years and just got tired of it, you know. And now I'm just excited, you know, I'm excited to be able to, you know, help you guys. To me, like when it comes to this, it doesn't matter what team you're on. I always believe we're all a family. And we all here to help each other to grow, to succeed, and just, you know, take it to the top. So what I'm going to do before I'm going to get started, I want to ask you guys to please, if you, you know, take pictures or screen recordings or boomerangs or whatever today, please tag me on Instagram. I'm going to show you my Instagram in a second. I would highly appreciate that. Show some love on my page. Let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. This is Tradingview, of course. Right here's my Instagram. You see my Instagram name. I'm gonna drop it in the chat as well. Sylvia, can you please let me know if you see my screen, if the screen share works?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Awesome. So guys, I would highly appreciate if you guys could do that. And I would say, let's get it going. So what I'm gonna do today basically is this training, it's not about like a trading training. It really is about showing you guys how to set up your trading view, how to, you know, make it look how the way you want to have it look, how to use the tool, how to be a bit more, just to use them more efficient, you know, because over the time I just found ways how, you know, I can just use certain tools like quicker, you know, and, you know, save some time. And I've learned some tricks over the past 2 years that I want to share with you guys. Okay. So if I look to the side, I have a little list here so I don't forget anything, okay, to share with you guys. And then write your questions down, write them in the chat or whatever. I'm sure Sylvia's going to help me, you know, if she sees questions. At the end of it, I want to go over all of them because I want to make sure you get off this call having all your questions answered to really know, you know, what you're doing to really start diving in. All right. So first off, for those who don't know, you know, that maybe there are some people on here that have never really heard about Tradingview. Tradingview is what most of us use to mark up our charts. We don't use it to actually trade, but to mark up our charts, okay? Because me personally, I started off, you know, with MT4 on my computer. But to me, it's a bit old school and it's just a bit harder to use. It works, of course, but I just like on Tradingview, it's like the drawing tool is just much easier to use. And one thing that like made it all clear why I'm using Tradingview is that it is online, right? Because MT4 on your computer, you know, you mark up your charts on your computer, but let's say you don't take your computer with you, you're at a friend's house or wherever, and you want to look at your charts, you don't have them there. Tradingview, you have it all online, so you can log in wherever you are, and you're always going to see your markups. That was like the biggest thing for me. So all you start off with is literally going on the Tradingview website, create a free account. There are pro versions of the account. Me personally, I do have a pro version, but just because of certain things, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the differences. But for everybody that's new, it's totally enough to have the free version. Okay, if you later on decide to, you know, do paid version, just use the trial, see if it, you know, how you like it. But it is not a must. You can use this completely free. All right, so I already created an account because I wanted to have a fresh account and not my actual trading account to actually really show you how does it look when you really start, how can you set it up, and all of that. Okay, so all you do is, you know, you're on the home page, you just go on chart. I'm gonna just do that. I'm excited. I'm excited. So this is literally how it's gonna look when you open it up the first time. Okay. And the first thing I always recommend people to do, set it up the way you want to have it. Okay. I'm gonna just give you some tips and tricks on where to do that, such and such. Okay. So first off, You see like the sell buy button right here, for example, like it's completely in the way. You don't need it because we don't trade on this platform, okay? Me personally, I don't like grid lines in the background. You can take them off, okay? You have stuff here at the bottom you know, maybe want to take off. So that's the first thing that most people do when you start. Okay, so all you do is just do a right click, go to settings. Either that or right here at the top where you see that little wheel, you can just click on that as well. I just always do the right click, okay? That opens up, you know, your chart settings. And here you can literally make the chart look the way you want to have it look, okay? You can change the color of your actual candles, the background, all of that. So I'm gonna just go over that a little bit. I wanna make it as detailed as possible and do my best to not leave anything out. As I said, if you have questions, just drop it in the chat, or, you know, after the call, I'm gonna just open the floor and see whoever got questions. So right here on the symbol, you're literally able, you can change the color of your candles, okay? The normal thing is red and green, but some people use blue and yellow, for example, or I have white and yellow actually. But that also changed depending on my mood. Like I have changed it like so often over the past, you know, 2 years. So you can just come in here and make them look however you want to. You know, you can change the body, just do this, the border and the wick, you know, let this do purple. And then you could also, you know, you don't want to have red, because what's funny is something with psychology, one of the educators said that the other day, because if you see red, you know, we always think of, you know, if you think of, you know, a trade that is going the wrong direction on your MT4, it turns red, right? It's negative. So that's like, you know, a negative thought that we like think of. So he was like, that's why I don't have my candles in red, because like my mind is already thinking of that negative trade. Like you see a candle going down, it is red. So you already be like, oh shoot, like it's going the wrong direction, right? So it's a psychology thing. I thought that was super powerful. I just learned that like 2-3 weeks ago. So that's why I changed. I don't want to have my candles in red. Like you can have it. I'm gonna just leave it in purple and black. It looks nice. Then you can go on here on status line. Okay. So for me, for example, I have a few boxes checked off. Like the OHLC is the open, the high, the low, and the close values of a candle. It's those numbers up here. I don't need them. I never look at them. Of course, you can decide for yourself. So I'm gonna just show you how I would set it up. I take this off. I have the bar change value. Those are numbers I never really look at. Okay, so you can change that however you want to. I go to scales, and then let me see. Let me go this right over here. For example, this one is important. I will always leave this on. If you look right here where price currently is, it shows you the actual price value, okay? So you see if I take it off, it's not showing that anymore, you know? So I always leave that on to actually see where exactly am I right now, okay? Another one that I find super important is this one right here, countdown to bar close. It's that little ticking time that you see under the price value, which actually shows you how much time is left for that specific candle to close. And it's just like on every time frame, if you do it on a 4-hour, it shows you how much time is left for that 4-hour candle to close. If you're on the 15-minute, it shows you how much is left for that 15-minute candle. And especially like, let's say you have a trading strategy where you're scalping, or you just know, okay, I want to precisely enter at this and this time. You see, okay, like in this example, I have 1 minute left until that candle closes, right? So I always leave that one on. Appearance, right? Right here, you can change the background of your screen, you know, do black, white. Me personally, I have it on black, but only because I have the whole concept of my trading view in the dark mode. I'll show you that in a second as well. And then what I take off, remember I said I don't like the vertical lines, right? So I take those vertical lines, I just go in here and I just turn this to 0%. You can do this, or you can just turn it to the color white, whatever you want to do. Boom, the lines are gone. I don't like them in the back, so that's one of the first things I had to do, okay? Then one more thing, like under trading, right here, you see show buy and sell panel. That's what I showed you here on the side. I take it off because I don't need it. I don't trade on it, right? So that's basically how I have it look. Yeah, so I leave that there. Then what you can do, this right here is a volume, is an indicator. It shows up here. You can take it off. I'm gonna just take it off for now to show you later how to add an indicator. And then just one more thing for the appearance, just to show you, if you do a right click, you go to color theme, you can switch between light and dark, okay? So if I would switch to dark, everything in here, like I'm gonna just show you guys, it all switches to dark. Me personally, I prefer, it's just nicer on the eyes. Just to show you guys, or let's say you know, the way I have it look right now, right? And the colors and everything, I want to save that because maybe I change it up later. Maybe I want to change it back, right? Same thing, I can do the right click, go to color theme, and you can click on save as, and now you can save. I'm gonna do purple black. It's my theme name, right? So now if I change something and I was like, I want to go back to this one, I can just again do right click, go to color theme, and now you see purple black is right here, and I can always switch back. Okay, so let's start with the top on TradingView. So that was the appearance. Now we're going to go into the time frames, how to switch them up, go over the watch list and things like that. I'm not going to look at the chat right now. I'm going to look at it after. I see people dropping in there, so I'm going to look after. So right here at the top where it says AAPL, this is literally where it can look for a currency pair. Okay, so I can click in here, basically your search field. Let's say I'm looking for Euro USD. Okay, I can type it in here, and now you see a whole list of, you know, that pair showing up. Right here on the side, it shows you different brokers. You will see most of the time, you know, the broker that you're actually trading with is not in here. Okay, so for example, I have Yugosway. That broker is not on here. So one recommendation I always give my team is find the broker that has the most similar price to the actual broker that I'm using. Why I'm saying this is every broker has a slight difference in price. It's always like that, okay? So for example, me using Yugosway, I know that the charts from FXCM are the closest. So I always use those charts, okay? So I can just click on here. And right now you see here, it says Euro US dollar. So I'm on the Euro US dollar chart. Okay. So that's the chart I want to look at. I'm going to show you later how to add to the watch list. I just want to go over the top real quick. Next to it, you see 5 minutes. It's a time frame. Okay. So one thing that I found more efficient, right? Because right now, if I click on the 5 minute, I get this drop down. I can switch between time frames, right? And to me, it was just like, okay, every time I want to switch a time frame, I have to like click on here and I have to like scroll down and find the time frame I like. TradingView has this cool thing that you can add favorites, not just with the time frame, but other things as well, which I'll show later, which just makes it faster and easier for you to access the things that you use the most, okay? So how that works is literally when I have the drop down field open, and let's say I'm gonna go to the 15 minute, you see on the side is this little star button. You see when I hover over it, it says add to favorites. So let me click on the 15 minute, for example. Let me click on the 45 minute, the hour, 4 hour, and daily, for example. You all see they have this little star now, right? So let me go away from the list. Boom. All those time frames are now here at the top. So now I can just literally click here and easily switch between the time frames way quicker. Save me some time. It might be just a millisecond, but it's still like adds up later on. So I like to save some time, right? So this is basically how you can add your time frames as your favorites. Whatever time frames you use the most, add them, okay? For me, it's mostly like 5 minute, 15, hour, 4 hour, hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, and daily, and sometimes a weekly. So those are the ones I look the most at. So I have them all up here, okay? Next to it is the candles. So for those who know, like you can switch, like you can have different types of candles. What we have right here are like the typical Chinese candlesticks that we all know, okay? But you also have the opportunity to use the line chart, which a lot of people use to, you know, mark support and resistance more precisely. We have Heikin-Nashi candles. I'm not going to go into these or what they all mean. But the same thing here, you have that little star button. And let's say you like to use the regular candles and the line chart because you want to switch back and forth, you know, marking up your support resistance. Okay, so I start them both, and now you see I have them both up here. I can easily switch. Okay, same thing, just quicker. All right, so This button right here, me personally, I never use compare, add a symbol. So I'm not going to go into that. I've literally never used it in 2 years. Just play it out. So I'm just going to go over the stuff that I frequently use. Just test it out, play with it. Okay. So the next one is the indicators. Okay. You click on it. This little window opens. And now you can look for the indicators you like. Okay. You have the built-in indicators. And a lot more. I've never really used them. So what I do is literally, let's say, go to the search field and type in moving average. Okay. Please, guys, stop drawing on the screen. It's funny, you always have one person that draws on the screen. All right. So I will put in, guys, please stop. Can I block this? Let me see.
I think you can turn off annotation.
I'm trying to see where I can do that. Okay. I'm just, guys, can you please stop doing that? That's just, I think we're too old for that. If anybody knows how to do that.
Okay, so where you have the share, if you look up your screen where you have share and all of that,
I'm on the antidote, like I can clear it, but I don't see like how to block everybody from doing it. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanna. So let's just hope nobody is doing. Do you know where you can do that? Like block people from doing that?
Let me see.
I've never had the issue, so I never really looked into that.
Like where you have on your screen where you have the mute and everything, you're gonna see stop annotation or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I can't see it. So let's just hope everybody's stopping that. Guys, really? I can't even go to, oh, someone is typing. Go to. I don't know where it is. Please just, guys, like I don't want to like waste too much time on this. Like just, let me see. I see it. I found it.
Okay. You found it, right?
Yeah, I got it. Awesome. Thanks, Dorian. Yeah, found it. Thank you, guys. All right, let's get back to business. I'm sorry for that. All right, where were we? Indicators. So you have the search field here, okay? And you can, let's say you want to add a moving average, okay? You type in moving average, whatever. And you see a few of them coming up right here. Okay, so same thing here. Again, you have this little star button, so you can mark them as your favorites. So let's say I want to do the exponential and the regular moving average. Now you see you have a favorite field here as well, so you can always like fastly, go onto that. So let's say I want to add, the moving average and the exponential to my chart. I just click on it. All I do is I click on it, and now right over here on the left-hand side, you see I've added those EMAs. Okay, as I say, I'm not going to go into any trading strategies that have to do with the EMAs. Oh, let me go back to the candles actually. I'm just showing how to set it up and everything. Okay, so now we have the EMAs over here. Okay, what you can do with indicators, whatever indicator you have, like when you hover over, you're going to see this little eye symbol, which means you can hide it, and the little wheel where you can actually change the settings. So, let's say you have a strategy where, Delano, for example, on Go Live has the MA4 and an EMA 50, right? You can come in here in the settings and you can change those numbers right here. You can change the color in here, okay? So same thing, you just go to the settings and you change those things. And if you click on the X, you just remove it, okay? I'm gonna just remove it for now. And then you can do with any indicator, however you wanna use, okay? So next one, stocks. We don't do stocks. Right here, I think this is really cool. You can save indicator templates. Let's say you have two strategies using and they look differently, like use different indicators without always having to delete and like add them back on. When you have one set up, you can just save indicator template, okay? And you can always just go back and forth without having to, always take off and add on like the indicators, okay? Next one right here is the alert button. I'm not gonna go into this one because there are multiple ways to actually set an alert. So I wanna do that later on. So I'm gonna just skip this for now. This symbol right here, bar replay, if you have the free version, this is not gonna work on any time frame lower than the daily, if I remember correctly, okay? So this is something like if you have the paid version, you can fully use this. It just allows you to basically like go back in time and to replay the market. It's good for like back testing, but you can also do it without it. So it's not necessary, okay? The little arrows right here is just to like go back and forth in, you know, what you just did or, you know, what you deleted. So let's say I click on it, you will see that my moving averages come back. I just deleted them, okay? So you can just go back and forth on whatever you just did. This right here is super, super important. This is actually you saving your chart, okay? So you see this little cloud symbol. As long as there are no check mark in there, that means your chart is not saved. What does that mean? Let's say you mark up your chart, you know, you do all this, like having your chart setups, and you don't save it, and you close it, it's gonna be gone. You have to redo it the next time. So what I recommend to do is, as long as it's unnamed, I think you have to name it, or no, it stays unnamed. So what you can do is you click on it for it to save. You see it has a little check mark. And when you go on this little drop down symbol, make sure you have the auto save on. Okay, so you see every 2 minutes, it's automatically gonna save it. So every time like you do something now and you wanna close it, it's gonna ask you, are you sure you wanna close? You haven't saved yet, okay? But I had it in the past, sometimes it didn't do it. So just make sure, like get it into the habit to check, do I have my check mark here? Is my chart saved? Okay, so with that, next time you come back, everything is still there, okay? This we already went on, like the setting tool. So one of the most important things is this little camera button. That's also one of the benefits compared to the MT4. You can literally take a snapshot of your chart, right? So let's say you mark it up and you want to show your, you know, your team, you know, like, look, I found this on the chart, right? It's better to just, you know, a lot of people just take a picture with their phone of their screen and you can't really see it. Just go to this little camera symbol, right? And it's gonna, you either can save your image if you wanna just, you know, record your own, you know, analysis, or it gives you a little link. You can click on copy and I can just send it right now to someone. They click on it and they're gonna see a screenshot of my chart. That's the best and easiest way to actually share, you know, when you want someone to look at your analysis. Okay, so this little camera symbol, super, super important. Okay, so let me see, watch list. Okay, let me delete everything off in here so I can really show you how this works. So you saw earlier how I added the Euro USD, like how I typed it in here, right? You have the chart right now. So now what you can do, if you want to switch to another pair, you can just go back and just GBP USD, you know? So for me, I don't always want to sit here and type in the pair, right? Again, I want to be, you know, I want to save me some time, right? So that's what the watch list is for, okay? So what you can do, there are two ways to add symbols to the watch list. So I have this pair open right now. I can do a right click and add to watch list. I'm gonna do that and boom, the pair is right here, okay? The other way to do it is right here, it says add symbol. Now let's type in Euro USD. I click on it, boom, Euro USD is in here. So now what that does, I can easily switch between the pairs without always having to type in the name over and over and over again, okay? So if you have, I mean, if you only look at one or two pairs, it doesn't matter. But if you, like me, I look at all pairs just because I trade harmonics, I look at all pairs. Just think about it, like every time I want to, you know, switch a pair, I would have to type in the name. It's like, I don't want to do that, okay? So I have my watch list, I have all my pairs in here, and I just can, you know, easily, you know, switch between them. So let's do AUD JPY. You have to just do it once, add them, and now I can just literally switch between them. Okay. This down here, I don't really never look at it. You can just minimize it or just use it if you want to. Me personally, I don't. So I just make it little. I just move it down. So that's that. Then here on the side, I would say just click through it, look at it. The two most symbols that I use is the first one, it's the watch list, and the second one is going to show all the alerts that I have. As I said, I'm going to show you that how to set the alerts. They're going to show up in here. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, one more thing. I'm just seeing on my list of indicators. Just one more thing. As I said, you know, you have different things between the free version and the paid version, right? With the indicators, for example, on the free version, you have 3 indicators you can use on a chart, and then depending what paid version you do, you can add more. I have the Pro, I think, and I can have 5. So that's one thing. So we did watch list, and yeah, let's start with the toolbar. Let me go look in the chat if there's like anything. Okay, I'm gonna just we look at it later on. All right, so now the most important thing, as I said, we use TradingView to actually mark up our charts. So what do we need? The drawing tools, right? So you find them all here on the left hand side, and there's such a big variety, like compared to MT4 and what you actually can do. It's amazing, right? So first thing is, you know, you always have, just to show you guys, so every time like you have this little tiny symbol right next to it, it opens like a sub menu. Okay, I always use the cross. You can also use, you know, the arrow to go over your chart. Me personally, I prefer the cross just because you see the cross here wherever I go, like on the right hand it shows the price where I'm at, and on the bottom it shows the date where I'm at. Okay, so that's why I always use the cross here. Second one is like basic things like trend lines, horizontal lines, channels, and things like that. Okay, so you can literally come in here. I can go, you know, on the trend line and, you know, just draw up, let's say, uptrend. Okay, so you saw once I click this little tool, whoops, what is this? Go away. Once I click this drawing tool, this trend line, I have this little thing opening up. I can literally click on it and move it over the chart wherever I want to have it. So what this is the individual setting for the drawing tool I just used. Okay, so I can come in here, for example, I can change the color, I can change the thickness of the line. Let me use another color. I can do, I want to have a straight line, do I want to have a dotted line, things like that. Or you can just go to the settings and, you know, have a few more things. You have a bit more, like more colors there. You can actually add text to your trend lines, which is super, super cool. Let's say we have an uptrend, right? So now you see right here, it says uptrend. And you can change, okay, do I want to have the text at the bottom or the top? Do I want to have it center, left, right? You can change it however you want to. You can, you know, change the thickness and all of that, okay? And then you also have the thing of, you know, visibility. Let's say you have whatever drawing tool. So that's the same for every drawing tool. Let's say you have something, you don't want to have it shown on the 5 minute, for example, like, or like the minutes. You can see, you can check off. So if I would check this off right now, if I go to a minute chart, like a 5 minute, 15 minute, 45 minutes, that trend line wouldn't be shown. Okay. Or let's say you have something on a lower time frame and you don't want to have it on a daily. You can just take off the days. Okay, you see right now I'm on the daily chart. If I check this off, it disappears. Okay, it's not visible anymore. So, and one more cool thing that you can do, I'm gonna show you this on this example. Let's say, no, I'll show you on the next one. It's easier there. So I'm gonna just leave this in there. Let's go back in here. One thing that I always do use, for example, is the horizontal line, and very, very often I use the horizontal ray. I use that to, let's say, mark up my entry area or my stop loss, my take profit. Okay, that's where I want to have it. Or this is like a significant price level. That's why I use this horizontal ray. Okay, so same thing. I have this little bar opening up for the settings. So now a really, really cool thing is, like, when I learned that, it changed a lot for me because it saved a lot of time. Let's go to the settings. So now let's say I want to use this for, okay, this is my entry area. And I know I want to mark my entry area as a black line. I want to write text on it and write entry. I want to have it at the top. I want to have it on the right. I want to have the color also in black. Maybe do it a bit bigger. well, not that big, right? So now imagine, you know, in the mean, like you did this once, you do other stuff, and then you have another chart. Oh, I have another entry area. Okay, so just think about now you have to do the line again. You have to go in here, type the text, everything. So why not shorten it up? So what you actually can do is you can save this as a template. And then, you know, when you're on the chart and you want to do the same thing, you can always switch it up. So how you do that is just down here where it says template and then save as. Now you can give it a name. I'm gonna just call it entry. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how that works. I'm gonna just do another line, and let's say I wanna make this green and I wanna make this my take profit line. Make it green. I'm gonna type TP1, for example. Make that also green. Style, I'm gonna make it a bit thicker. So that's how I want my TP to look. Again, I go down here, templates, save as. It's my TP1, save. So now let's say I go to a different chart. Let's go to GBP USD. And I'm like, oh, I have another entry area. I have another TP. Let me do that. Let me put the line in here. I want this as my entry area, but it's green. So I have to go in here. Oh, another trick that I forgot. You can also double click on a drawing tool and it opens up the settings. Also works. So let's say like I want this as my entry area. Now I would have to go change the color, everything. But remember, we saved it as a template. So all you do is click on template. Right here it says entry and TP1. So I can click on entry, boom. It changes it to how we had done it like the one time. We did it one time, saved it, and now we can use it all and over again. Okay. Another way of doing that is clicking on it, right? Let's say, oh, I want this as my TP. You don't have to go into the settings to do it. What you also can do is go to the little bar that we have. And right here, the first symbol are our templates. So I can go in here, TP, boom. I can literally switch back and forth between these without having to always go in and type the text out and everything. I do that once, save them, and I can use them all the time. A big time saver for me personally. Okay, so another thing you can do is with every drawing tool that you have, let's say you have certain tools that you use all the time, like trend line, the horizontal line, the vertical ray, the channel, for example, and other tools that come later. Same thing, you can create your favorites. Okay, so let's say right here, trend line, I'm gonna click on the little star as always. You see this little toggle like open up. So let me add other ones. Let me add the horizontal line. Let me add the horizontal ray. Let me add the channel. So now I have this thing here that I can literally move around wherever I am. So now instead of always having to go to the drop-down menu and find the one that I want to use, I can literally just click here. I want to use a trend line. Okay. Boom. Oh, I don't like the look. Let me change it. Let's do the same thing. Let's change it up to, let's make this blue. Not so big. I want to have it as a regular line. I can come to this first symbol, save drawing template, and let's say uptrend, for example. So you can save that. All right, so now, okay, I want a channel. I want to use a channel. I can go in here, use the channel tool. Okay, so you see it saves time with just having this little thing and I don't always have to go to the drop down menu. And you can add them, like add more, take them off, whatever you want to do. So next one in here is where you find the Fib retracement tool, Fibonacci tool. That's literally the only one I use in this section is the Fibs, just because as I say, I trade harmonics. All the others I've never really used. I don't use Pitchfork and all of that. So, but since I always use it, boom, I mark it as my favorites and there it is, okay? Next one, you have things like a brush, rectangle, ellipse. Here, for example, I use the rectangle a lot to mark specific zones because one thing I've learned in the beginning, like zone support resistance, it's not always a straight line, it's always a zone, right? So for that, I would just use the rectangle. I can click on here, click on the chart, pull it over, and you see I have this rectangle that opens up, right? So I can move my little zone. I can mark up my little zone. The cool thing about the rectangle is, let's say, you know, you want to, like you see, I've done like a little bit of the chart, but let's say I want to have it like go over the majority of the chart, right? What you can do is either double click or go on the settings, go to coordinates, and right here you have numbers. So one of them always have to be positive and one has to be negative. So let's say I'm gonna change this one number up right here. I'm gonna take negative and just put it in 5,000, whatever, right? Click OK. Boom, you see how it's switched to the side. I can zoom out of the chart and now you see it literally goes over the whole chart. Without me having to actually drag it, I just change the number and it goes over the whole chart. Okay, another little trick. Same thing, you can change the color however you want it. Another thing that you have up here also is the little lock symbol and the eye symbol. What that means is there's also for every drawing tool. If you click on the lock, I cannot move this drawing tool. You know, it happened to me very often. I draw something up and then let's say I look on my Tradingview app on my phone and I zoom in, zoom out, and I mean, the screen is smaller and I accidentally click on one of my drawing tools and I move it. And I don't want to move it. It needs to stay there, right? So to prevent that, you can just click on the little lock symbol and now I can touch it. I cannot move it. If I take it off, now you see I can move the tool again. Okay. The little eye symbol, it can actually hide specific drawing tools, you know? So let's say I want to come in here, I want to hide the symbol. I don't want to delete it. I just want to hide it. Okay, so now you see it's gone. How do I get it back? Right click, and you have right here, object tree. Right here, you see all the drawing tools that I have on my chart. You see the rectangle, it's right there, but you see that little eye symbol, right? It's invisible. So now I can just come in here, boom, there it is again. Okay, so you can have it on your chart, but just hide it if you know, if it's just too much. Next one is a text symbol. I love this one because it gives you very, very cool options. Nope, no remote control. You have the regular text. I can just come in here, you know, just type something, same. You can change the color wherever you want, right? So now when I zoom out, you see that text, you know, just stays where it was, right? So if I, you know, move to the side, I don't see it anymore. They also have the option of anchored text. The difference is, just write test. Now you see when I zoom to the side, that is always there. It stays there. It's literally anchored to the part where I had it. And wherever I scroll in the chart, I'm gonna see that text. So it's a cool thing to leave like notes for yourself so you don't, you know, miss it. Okay. Another cool thing that they have is the little note symbol. This allows you, this creates this little symbol, but you don't have the actual text. Like, let's say you want to leave some notes for yourself in regards to your analysis, but you don't want to have that whole text on your chart to like clutter your chart, right? So you can use this little symbol and you hover over it and you're going to see the text that you wrote yourself in here, right? But you only have this little symbol and it's not taking away too much space. Okay, so you have all those little tools you can use. You have a call out symbol. Let's say I want to specifically, like for this candle, I want to write something, right? So I can have this little text that, you know, points to this candle. Okay, so you have all those different options. Next one are different patterns, right? You have the harmonic patterns that I use a lot. If you trade, let's say, head and shoulders, right? On MT4, I think you have to just like draw like trend lines or whatever to like symbolize a head and shoulders. Right here, you actually have a symbol for that. You can click on here and I can just click a few times. 1, 2, 3, like the same way I would mark a head and shoulders, but this actually gives me a visual. Oops, a visual of it. Okay, so pretty cool tool to use. Same thing if you trade Elliott wave, you know, wave movements in the market. Let me, you know, zoom out a little bit. Can go in here, and then I do the Elliott wave. I could just mark this up. So I don't really trade Elliott wave, but you get what I'm saying. So you can literally, instead of like drawing like single lines, you can just use these tools. Okay, they're all there to literally make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so before I come to the next tool, one that helped me tremendously on learning how to count pips, because I struggled in the beginning on how to count pips. Before I get to that, I want to quickly show you different ways on how to set alerts. Okay, so let me go back here. I'm going to delete this. I don't need this. All right, so different ways on doing an alert. You can do it, as I said, up here, but me, I prefer to actually do it on the different, you know, drawing tools, whatever I want to do. So let's say in this movement, I want to get an alert when price goes lower. Okay, so the first way to do it is right here. You see my crosshair. You see this little plus sign here where the price is, right? So if you click on that plus sign, you can actually set an alert at exactly that price where you at. So wherever you are in the chart, you can click on the plus sign, you can add an alert. Okay, so I can click on here. Now I have this little line and it shows it's an alert. So whenever price comes there, I get a sound or whatever I choose to do. So I'm gonna just double click on it. It works. And I have the settings for the alert. So here I can actually set, how do I want to get an alert? Okay, do I want to be notified in the app if I have the app on my phone, pop up? Do I want to get an email sent? And do I want to have a sound played? I always have the sound on for me. Okay, and so that's the regular alert. Same again on the free version, you have, of course, less alerts than on the pro version. I think 5, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the regular one, okay? So where do we see it now? Remember I said in the beginning, here on the side, you have this little alert section. And now you see it says GBP USD crossing. You can change the message. Same thing in the settings. I can either double click on here again, scroll down. You can leave a little message, okay? So you could change buy, for example. So now you see here on the message, it says buy. So whenever that gets hit, you know, oh, I'm looking for a buy setup, okay? So that's one way to set an alert. You can also delete it, either go in here and click on the X, or do a right click on here and click delete. Okay, so that's one way. Another thing that I've learned, let's say you are someone that likes to trade with trend lines. I'm gonna go on the time frame lower. I'm gonna do a little, oops, nope. I'm gonna do a little trend line here. If it lets me. So not going to do it precisely. So now, let's say a lot of people sometimes trade with either trend lines or vertical lines, you know, for looking for a break of structure, break of a trend line, break of a support resistance, right? If I would set a regular alert, because you can't set an alert on different drawing tools. If I set a regular alert, normally I would, you know, get a ping once price hits it, like once a wick hits it, right? But to me, that is not a sign of a really break of structure. So what I've learned is, I'm gonna just go on here. Like I do a right click on the trend line, it says add alert. So now what I'm able to do, I have different options on what kind of alert I want, okay? So you see conditions, GBP/USD crossing the trend line, right? That's what we want, right? So now the options is, you have only ones. That means literally when it gets touched, just slightly touched, we get an alert, right? So that works, you know, for some people. For me, if I want to have an actual break, I don't care if it just gets slightly touched. I want a candle to like go past it. So what you can do is, that for me was mind blowing when I learned that. If you choose right here, once per bar close, that means you get an alert once a candle closes past that trend line. So let's say price goes up. If it just goes up but closes below, I don't get an alert. If it goes up and the candle closes above, that's when I get an alert, okay? So those are little things that, you know, can even become more precisely with your alerts, okay? So that's one way. And as I said, you literally can do that on almost every drawing tool. Same thing with my entry line, you know, can go in here, add alert. Same thing, GBP crossing horizontal ray. I can change how I want to have the alert, how I want to get notified. I can leave a message for myself. Okay, So those are just different ways on, you know, creating an alert. So one more thing, because before I actually get to the pips, how to count pips, is let me see. Yeah, we wrapping up very soon, so be patient. We're almost done. One thing is sometimes, you know, I want to zoom in and maybe I want to make my candles a bit bigger, right? So what you can do is here on the side where you see the price, you see that little arrow here, right? So you can just click and hold and you can drag it. You know, you can make it bigger, smaller, however you want to have it, right? And now you see my candles are way bigger. So now when I zoom out, it kind of looks weird, right? So I want to have it back to normal, okay? So what you can do, there are two ways to do that. Is either click on auto right here, or down here when you go over the chart, you have this little circle thing. The difference between the two is right now, like once I do this moving, I'm actually able to move the chart around wherever I want to, okay? So when I click on auto, it will reset the look of the candles. And I'm still not doing it. Yeah. So you see, like now I can only use it, like move it to left and right. I can't move it up and down. Okay. So I'm gonna do it again. Once I do this, I can move my chart up and down. Once I click on auto, is reset, right? So this right here, you can do this too, but this one also helps. Let's say you scroll all the way to the left because you want to look in the past, right? And then you don't want to sit there and like scroll all the way back to get to the beginning. You can just click on the little circle and it brings you all the way back to the beginning. Okay. I have to drink for a second. So I hope that makes sense. As I said, we're definitely gonna go over some questions. So now, for me, the most important tool when I started was right here. Long position, short position tool. As I said, I know for a lot of people in the beginning, it is hard to calculate pips. I remember I struggled with it. I use this tool and it really literally calculates the pips for me and gives me exactly the price I want to put into my MT4. How does it work? I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna just go to this down move right here. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. So I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna use the short position because short is for selling, long is for buying. So let's say, I'm gonna just put a line here. Let's say I wanna enter right here. Remember we did our buy, our entry area. I'm gonna just do this. We have our entry area. So this is where I wanna enter. Okay, so let's say I did a market execution or I just know, okay, that's where I wanna enter. So what you can do now, you'd be like, okay, I know I wanna have a stop loss of, let's say 50 pips, right? I know that. Okay, but how do I calculate that? How do I calculate the stop loss for my entry area, right? And I know, let's say I want 100 pips TP. How do I calculate that? That's what this tool is for. I go here to short position. And now I can go, I see my trend line, my little line that I posted. I can just go over it and position this. All right. So now you see, let me move all of this out the way. The red area is basically your stop loss area, your drawdown area, and the green is where you're in the right direction, right? So what I can do now is I double click on here. Let me move this over a little bit. Right. So now we see our entry price. I actually see I was exact. I actually put it exactly on the line, so that's good. If you don't put it exactly here, you can literally type your entry price in here. You can also do that, for example, you do a market execution on your phone, and you know, let's say you get a signal, oh, market execute GBP USD, like enter now. Boom, you enter. What you can do now is come in here and you know, look on your MT4 and your trade. Okay, where did I enter? What's the exact price? I can type this in here. Okay, I can type in the entry price. So now, let's say I want to have a 50 pip stop loss, right? So you see right here, you have a profit level and a stop level. Okay, so stop level is our stop loss. Okay, I can come in here. Let me just take this off. I'm gonna type in 50, right? Now the difference is, that's important. You see it says ticks, okay? It's not counted in pips. All that means is whatever number you use, just add a 0 at the end. So if you do a 50 pip stop loss, just add a 0. If you do 100 pips, just add a 0, okay? So We just do 50, I add a 0. So now I want you to pay attention to this right here, the price, and this red area, what happens when I click outside of this field. You see how tiny this got? Well, it's GBP. So let me, I'm gonna just do some crazy numbers. I'm gonna just do 100, just to make it more. 100, add a 0, so make it a little bit bigger. So you see this area right here changed, and the price here also changed, right? So now literally what you can do is go to your phone, open your trade, and you can now go and type this number in as your stop loss. You didn't have to calculate. You didn't have to sit there, okay, how much is it, right? You literally just type in, oh, I want to have 100 pip stop loss, you know, put in the 100, it calculates the price for you in regards to whatever you put into your entry price. Same thing with your profit level, okay? So let's say we have, I'm just crazy numbers, a 300 pip take profit, which is more, of course, a swing trading. But at the same time, GBP is in fast moving pairs, but that's a different topic. So I put in 300, add a 0 because we count them, ticks. I click out of it, boom, the number changed, this little thing changed. So now again, you can go into your MT4, type this number in as your take profit, you're good. You didn't have to calculate. This helped me so much in the beginning because I really struggled to calculate pips. I really had a hard time. So I always use this, and eventually I just learned from it, you know. Same thing here also, you can change the style, you can change the colors if you don't want to have it on red and green. I think I have mine on gray and blue, but that's up to you, okay? So now you literally see, you know, you see up here it says stop 100, right here's your pips. The bottom 300 is your take profit, okay? At the same time, it also shows you a risk to reward. So this right now is a trade, it's a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So all that means is that your take profit area is 3 times as big as your stop loss area, okay? But that's something, you know, if you haven't gotten through it in the academy, definitely do. Risk management is super key. I can go over that in another time if anybody has questions. But you see this tool is literally, it was a lifesaver for me. And the same thing literally goes for the long position. Same thing, I can just place it here and you see it's just reversed, okay? Same thing, I can go to input, put in my entry price, put in my profit level, my stop level. I'm gonna just do it crazy numbers again, 400. I'm gonna make this 600, whatever. Boom, you see it changes whatever I put in, okay? So this is for those that literally struggle with calculating pips. Use this, utilize this. You trust me, it will help you tremendously. I've heard from so many people how it helped them. So I really hope it does that for you as well. So the last things up here is just little things like, let me see what else we have. Your little, the ruler. If you want to measure like this move, how many pips this is, I can literally click up here, go down, and this is like 1,700 pips. So it's, I mean, GBP pairs move crazy. So you can, you know, move, like measure this movement, how much it is. You have a little zoom in, you know, if you want to be more precise. For me, for example, when I work with harmonics, I have to place my Fibonacci to a very exact. I can just go in here, drag over it, and it zooms into the area, just so I can see is the fib level hit or not, okay? And then you can zoom out as well. Another cool thing is this one right here, the stay in drawing mode. All that means is, let's say you know, just start to mark up your chart and you want to place multiple horizontal lines for your support resistance, okay? Instead of always going here, click one, go back, click another one. What you can do is when you know you have multiple things you want to add, just activate this drawing mode. And now I can just click on this little symbol once. And now without always having to click it, I can just place lines. I can just go and place as many lines as I want without always having to go back and forth, okay? The only thing is you have to remember, if you don't want to use it anymore, take it off. Sometimes when you forget and you just want to do something, you keep adding drawing tools. It's like, I don't want that. So always remember to take it off. And the last thing, if you say like, we have a lot of stuff on here right now, I want to clean the whole chart, just click on the little trash can, everything is gone. Okay, so let me see if I have anything else on here. No, that was literally it. So I hope this was helpful. Let's, I'm gonna look in the chart. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna go over. How do we get it recorded? I have this recorded. I think I do. Let me double check. Yes, I'm recording it. I will give this out and to for you guys. I really need to see that pip calculator again. Yes, as I said, I will definitely give you guys a recording. RG, you said, please, can you repeat that pip part again? Which exactly? What exactly do you mean? Go over the pip calculation again. Okay, I will show that in a second. Just hold on for a second with the typing, just so I can see the questions. Let's see if there's anything. If you have any questions that you dropped and I wasn't answered, please drop it again if you're still on the call. I want to make sure, or raise your hand. Let me see. I think I saw someone raising their hand earlier. Let me see, any questions? Yes, I said I will send the recording. I love this. Okay, let me go back down. Any question? How do we get the recording? I will drop it. How do you know which broker has a price that is similar to your broker? Just check. That's really just, you have to check, like look at the broker you have on your MT4, Sheila. And you know, open a chart, let's say GBP USD. Look where prices on your MT4 and then go on your TradingView. And then right here, you see where the current price is. And just look if it's close to each other, if it's similar, okay? Sometimes you see different brokers, they have a bit of a bigger like difference and some are closer to each other. As I said, like from experience, I know Yugosway broker and FXCM charts are the closest to each other. So that's why I do that, okay? How do we add entry prices? I'm gonna show the tool in a second again. I see a lot of people love that one. Is there a difference in function in the magnet when it comes to free and pro version? David, do you mean the little magnet up here or which one do you mean? I don't think, like the drawing tools itself, like they're same on every version, free or pro. So the drawing tools is literally the difference between the free and the pro versions are the amount of alerts, the amount of indicators. The replay, for example, is different. Like you can't use it on the free version. What else? That's what I can think of right now. Can you teach us a strategy? No, I'm not going to do a strategy right now. Okay, how to add to watch list. Okay, I'm going to show those two things again. So watch list, two ways to do that. You can either, you know, type in up here, type in your pair that you want to see the chart and then do a right click and then add to watch list. That's one way to do it. Or have the watch list open and right here it says add symbol. And let's say I want to do CAD JPY. I can choose whichever I want to use, click on it, and boom, it is in my watch list. Okay, so right here. So I'm going to show the position tool again. So I'm going to do the long position. Let me go to another chart. Let me see where we have a nice movement. Okay. And let me go to 1 hour chart. Ooh, there's a lot going on. So let's use this little, let me look in the chat. How to duplicate patterns. Oh yeah, see, I'm gonna show that as well, how to duplicate. Good one. I know it has strong and weak selection, but is there more to it to the pro version? So David, what you can do, is go to the TradingView website where you can choose the different. I'm gonna see if I can show you, and you can compare the different plans. It shows you literally the difference between the plans. I don't have them all in my head right now. Okay. So how you clean those is just literally you can drag them. I just dragged them down. Teju, I hope I said your name correctly. You can just literally like drag it down to hide it. okay, duplicate and the position tool. So I'm going here again. I'm gonna place it right here, just randomly, double click on it or open the settings. So now right here, entry price, I can type in the price either when you analyze and you know, okay, that's where I wanna have my entry, you can put it in, or as I said, you took a signal, a market execution signal, you entered your trade, you come in here. And let's say we entered our price down here, okay? Let me see what price it is, just so I know. Okay, so let's say you entered your trade at 75.00. So I can literally change it and like put that number in here and the thing drops down. And now we have to change our stop level and our profit level. So stop level, let's say we have a 25 pip stop loss. So I put in 25. Add a 0. Always remember add a 0 because it counts in ticks and not in pips, right? I click out of that little box. You see this one change and the price changed as well. So now let's go to the profit level. I want to have, I'm gonna do 60. Just 60 pip take profit, add a 0, boom. Number changed, this thing changed. Now you can go to your MT4 to open your trade and you can put literally those numbers in without having to calculate, okay? And so now the question was how to duplicate a pattern. Where's my little, oh, right here. I'm gonna just use the horizontal ray. So what you can do is I place this and I wanna duplicate this. I can right click, for example, and clone it, right? Or I can click on it and I'll have the same thing here, clone and copy, right? Or I can just use, on a Mac, it's CMD and then a copy, like the C and then the V, and I have it, oops, that didn't work, right there. Okay, let me delete all of this just to show you again. I'm gonna do the line, and then on the MacBook, CMD, and then click the copy, like the C, and then CMD and V, boom, I have a second line. So you can copy the drawing tools, whatever you have. So let me see, copy paste it, yeah. Okay, so I hope, let me see, where's my phone? So I'm gonna record this for a second. So do me a favor, guys, let me see. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Please drop it in the chat if you saw value in this training. Drop fire emojis if you got value in this training, if you learned something new, if it helped you. Please drop it in the chat. Drop some fire emojis. Let's go. I love it. Everybody's seeing value. Let's go. I love it. I love it. We still have 166 people on. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm so happy I was able to help you. I'm so happy that you learned something new today. See, everybody's going crazy. I love it. Woohoo! Game changing. Ooh, let's go. I love it. I love it. Awesome, guys. As I said, I recorded the call. I would give it to Sylvia. She will pass it out. I'm super, super grateful. Sylvia, do you have anything? Do you want to add anything to it?
Obviously not. I was just paying so much attention. I'm like, wow, thank you so much. I learned something new completely. Every time I jump on any of your calls when it has to do trading view, trust me, it's like, I've been trading for 1 year. How come I never knew this information? So thank you so much. That was really, really helpful. I'm sure that so many people got value, especially the part where, you could calculate your pips. I mean, that's a game changer, trust me, because now you know the exact price that you want to put in your MetaTrader for. It just makes everything so easy. Yeah. So guys, what I would say right now is go practice everything that Steph has taught, because it doesn't make sense if you learn without practicing. I'm definitely going to go on my trading view right now and just share some things, trust me, because it's just, I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's crazy, like how, this whole thing just makes everything easy. If you know how to navigate TradingView just makes everything easy. So thank you so much, Steph. I
And
really appreciate your
I love
time.
what you
Thank you
said.
so much.
You know, you saying for everybody to use it. That goes to the quote that I love. It says, knowing but not using is not knowing. So
Absolutely.
use what you learned today. You know, use your notes. My mentor always says your notes are your uncashed checks. Okay, so use them. Okay. I shared, you know, I gave you all my Instagram. I hope I'm gonna see. I hope that you tag me in some of your stories. I hope so. You know, if you have any question, no takers are money makers. That's right. Oh, I love that my team is on here as well. Love the support. What was I saying? Yeah. If you have any questions, you know, don't hesitate. You have my Instagram, reach out. I'm just super grateful. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for allowing me to do this, for giving me the opportunity to come on here and, you know, share this with you guys. And I'm just so grateful. I feel so blessed that you know, got it. Let me share my Instagram again.
Yeah, share your Instagram again. Everyone wants to follow you.
Yes, I'm gonna just share my screen and show you guys my Instagram. Right here, it's Steffi.lens and then the underscore. Okay, so that's my Instagram. You know, tag me in your stories, whatever. Reach out if you have questions. I'm gonna also drop it in the chat. Let me go. Steffi.lens underscore. There you go. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Enjoy your evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. For me, it's nighttime. It's literally 10 p.m. for me. So I'm about to get my workout in and finally go to bed. Definitely going to bed tonight with a big smile on my face. You know, I love the energy that you guys brought here. It's so important. So stay blessed, you know, stay amazing. If you have questions, you know, reach out, don't hesitate. And as I said, I will give the recording to Sylvia. She's going to share it with you guys, and then, you know, watch it as often as you want. All right. See you guys soon. Bye.